Welcome to Hear Me Out Pitch, or welcome back if you're returning. I'm Tim,
And I'm Willem.
and yeah,
Yeah.
this is a spoil. Here's a spoiler warning, right up front, right at the start, right at the get go. If you have not seen Captain America: Brave New World, go watch it, and then come and listen to us.
Spoiler warning.
Yes, it's not as bad as people are saying.
No. No.
It's worth the ticket.
Yeah, I think it was worth the ticket.
It has a lot more rewatchability than
I
anything since Shang-Chi.
I really think so. And honestly, I tried watching the new Spider-Man film. There's like a couple scenes, but really it's not that rewatchable. I was like, "Oh." And then I watched a video essay about that and I was like, "Oh, crap." But no, I was surprised. Is it perfect? No.
No.
Does it have a lot that I had to take from? Yeah. Is it really trying? Maybe. I think I was telling my friend on the car ride home today, on the car ride to work today, that this is what I call an alley-oop movie. Mm-hmm. That honestly, this could be a movie that sets up perfectly, and Thunderbolts could be amazing. I really think we have that.
Yeah.
I really think and because look at, and I know you love the first Captain America, but if we compare Captain America, Thor, Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2, they are not Infinity War, they're not Avengers, they're not, but they build up to it, and it was just a perfect serve. Like if we can get that kind of feel again with 7, I give this movie a 7 movies, like passable movies that I was eating popcorn, entertained the whole time, and never during the Marvels and during Ant-Man. We've said it once, we said it. Thor Love and Thunder and Ant-Man to me are the two worst Marvel movies.
I would rather rewatch Thor: Love and Thunder than Ant-Man.
Okay, yeah. I would rather watch Eternals than either of those movies.
Same.
I'd rather watch the Marvels than either of those movies.
I'd rather watch Eternals than Marvels, personally.
Yeah, I think I could agree there.
We'll hit Marvels later.
We should definitely
we can
do a tier. We did talk about the Marvels.
Or Eternals.
We do need to talk about that because there's some stuff. But we're here to talk about Captain America: Brave New World. Dun, dun, dun. Insert picture here. Maybe, I don't know. I'm starting to do that more. Woo! Really quick though, for anyone tuning in the first time, welcome to our channel. Me and Tim are nerds. We simply just talk about movies, what we don't like about them, and how we would change them. And every now and then we come up with our own original stories. So we got a few out there.
Got a handful of originals, and we are very proud of all of them.
And we're coming up with some fun stuff for the future. So expect some audio stories in the future. And I'm talking like probably before my birthday. Hopefully. So it'll be fun. So Tim, I got to ask though, what were some of the biggest pros of this movie?
Probably the biggest one. Sorry, I dropped my phone. Probably the biggest one for me was that it wasn't Steve Rogers. It was Sam Wilson. And it played into his character far more than a lot of people were saying it was.
I think they mentioned Steve.
They mentioned him a couple times, but the one part, again, spoilers. I'm telling you again, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it.
Are you back? Did you go see it? Welcome back. Cool.
The part when Bucky comes and gives Sam the pep talk.
That's the alley-oop moment. All I'm saying is Thunderbolts better take off right from that moment. If Thunderbolts starts following Bucky on his diplomatic mission, I will be, that immediately for me will be like, yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull up IMDb real quick, and because Brave New World, a lot of people did not like it. It is a 6.0. It's gone up since Monday. On Monday it was a 5.2. out of 10. Um, the ratings, a lot of people are saying that
I
it should
regret
have
not seeing
been
this opening night. I'll be
same.
honest. I regret it. And I'm glad it had a good opening week, but I'm sad that it has kind of dwindled. But I hope it does make Marvel some money because I don't have anything. What bugs me is people are complaining, and I was a little on the fence, but they're like, well, they're using other villains for Captain America instead of the Hulk. And I'm going, I don't. Marvel's messed up with the Hulk right now. Let's just leave him be for the moment.
Yeah. Yep.
There is. Oh, I'll talk about. I want to do what we liked, what we didn't like, and then what we would change. So there's a scene that I would have loved. Didn't happen, but I do hope that we see something like it in the future because I know it easily can happen. So what you looked up IMDb? What are you thinking?
A lot of people. I'm just looking at why people thought it was bad.
Bless you.
Most people are saying that it should have been just another episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
This could have been a season.
My quick note on that, I am slightly annoyed because I didn't quite catch everything because I haven't seen the show. I've talked about it many times before. I am really sick of these TV shows setting up movies.
If I can be fair, here's the thing. Isaiah Bradley, I feel like they did a perfect job. They explained him. They did a very good job just explaining it because that's kind of that's what Marvel wanted originally was if you watch it, you'll get a little more info like comics. When you read bigger comic issues, if you've read little parts, you'll catch things more. So I will admit some people might be mad and I get it.
Yeah.
But I really thought they did. Isaiah Bradley, he was my favorite character.
Oh, absolutely.
Isaiah Bradley.
Sam Wilson.
Actually, no.
No.
President Ross.
And
then
Harrison Ford did a fantastic job.
To me, Isaiah Harrison. I want to call him Captain Ford, and then not Captain. I mean Captain Ford. President Ford. President Ross. Gosh, dang it. President Ross, and then oh my gosh, Sam Wilson. Jeez, my brain.
He's not very good at names.
I am not, especially when it's been a very long day and I have been plugging in numbers, printing sheets, copying sheets. I am
a little brain dead at the moment.
Yeah, it's fun when you work for a medical company and you have to make sure everything gets tracked accordingly. So it's fun. Ugh. Anyway, I get it. I really do get it that they felt like they had to watch it, but I felt like it was enough.
Given that I haven't seen it, I still understood enough.
I
understood enough that I enjoyed it. I haven't seen the shows. This is my last thing about TV shows. I think TV shows should be a side thing that don't build up to anything. It should be its own side story thing. The way I think Agatha All Along is going to be something like that, where it's
just it's a side thing
story. I think Marvel's
Moon Knight is a good example.
Moon Knight's a really good example. But WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier,
I think they were experimenting.
Yeah, I'd rather them not try to do that again in the future. Stick to movies for the big stuff and then TV shows for side stories.
Well, streaming is getting a gut punch. I think we all depended on it during COVID. Economy's been getting kind of crappy. Not kind of, but we're going to leave that there. But it's become the new cable and we're all getting kind of sick of it. And hopefully with good movies, we can start going to the movies again. And we'll see what happens. But I would definitely... I would watch an Isaiah Bradley show. I would watch that. I would watch that. I would watch... I don't know. Ethan could probably tell you this, and I don't care for letting you people know. I was on the verge of tears. You probably heard me a few times with the Isaiah. It just hit me so well. And for a fun fact, and I don't know actors' names, but I do know him. I do know their voices. And the actor who played Isaiah Bradley... is the voice of the Martian Manhunter in all the Justice League shows growing up. So I was, I just love him. I love him so much. So
Carl Lumbly.
yes,
He is in a lot of movies I've never seen.
you know, I hope I'm correct with him being the voice. There are some things he said that I was like, that's Martian Manhunter. That's him. That's the guy. If not, I could be wrong, and then I'll just delete this part, and you all will never know that I made a fool of myself.
I'm looking and I'm not seeing it.
Crap.
Wait. Oh.
Oh.
Nope. Silas Stone.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm gonna keep going.
He's gonna keep going.
He is
Yes!
in Injustice
Mm.
and in Justice League Doom, and that might be it.
What?
Hold on. There's a lot of these.
Oh my gosh.
He's in a lot of DC TV shows.
Because I'm pretty sure the League of Doom one, the one with that one is a great one. Anyway,
He is in the Justice League Unlimited.
Gosh,
He's Martian Manhunter in
Oh!
Unlimited.
I'm a monster when it comes to. I do not know voice actors' names very well, but I will be darned if I mess up a voice. I love voice actors, and the thing is, I can think of their names right now, but I get so nervous when I try to tell them to people that I just ugh. So, like the voice of Gantu, love him. The voice of Samurai Jack, he's also the voice of the Green Lantern. I just love them all. Rob Paulson, Yakko Warner, and all. Oh gosh, sorry. I love voice actors. I love it. We are getting sidetracked. So, other than the TV shows,
Other issues that people had.
yeah,
Some people were saying that it failed. The movie failed to focus on a villain or a storyline. I mean, it did focus more on President Ross and his stuff, and I do kind of agree to a point, but at the same time, Stearns wasn't supposed to be a Thanos. He's
no, he was just
a manipulator in the background.
I loved how they made the leader. I love that they made him a little of a combination of the thinker and using probability, because the leader does use probability. He does use that, but the way and maybe I'm getting him and the thinker confused, but I just love how he would calculate. I love the part where he tricked Sam to being in that little sound blast, and it was nuts because I'm pretty sure it was the same thing he used on the Hulk way back in the day. Not that he used, but that they used, and I was thoroughly happy. I loved the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk movie, and I enjoy it. Whenever it's on, I will sit down and watch it. I think it really did set up very well. It is technically, that's the first Marvel movie I saw, because they came out, I believe, like a month apart, and it was so awesome going to watch the Hulk, and then at the end of the end credits, we just see Tony Stark at the end, and I was like, oh, so.
Giancarlo Esposito killed it in this movie, as he always does.
People were mad he wasn't in a lot, but I liked him being very brief. If you're going to give me an actor and give him awesome moments and brief moments and just a little sprinkle of that, just that moment, those moments, I don't care. Him shoving an axe into Sam's side and him and Sam's little fight in the little parking lot, I loved it.
It was good. It was really good.
Sam kicking, I am trying so hard not to get excited and swearing, because that kangaroo kick he did to him and shoved him into it, I was like, oh.
Danny Ramirez did a really good job as Joaquin Torres. He did a really good job as Mini Falcon.
I liked him. A lot of people complained about him.
I again, probably because I haven't seen the show, I expected him to be the bad guy from the get-go. And then he wasn't. And he got shot out of the sky, or blown out of the sky, and I was like, oh no, is this going to be him losing
Rhodey number 2.
his losing his wingman again.
Yeah.
Because that was his whole thing in Winter Soldier. Is
He lost his friend.
Sam said that he lost his wingman, and I thought we were gonna get a repeat. And I'm a little disappointed that Sam didn't bring it up and say, I can't lose another wingman. I don't want to lose another wingman.
I felt that too, but again though, there are some things that if you truly have watched all these movies and you know the character, you know darn well what they're thinking of.
You know it hurts.
Because it might have been an appropriate thing to say. Maybe at the end of the movie, I think that would have been. You're right. But you knew it, you felt it. I thought about him, and that's why Sam said I like taking the lead because I don't like others. Yeah, I think Sam is going to be a wonderful Captain America.
I agree.
And I know everyone is kind of torn with it, but Steve is done. Steve is tired, and sometimes a mantle needs to be held. Batman is a mantle that I would want to continue to be holding, and usually in the comics he does. For anyone who watched Batman Beyond, that was one of the first times one of our beloved, at least for my generation, one of my beloved heroes was not the original hero. It was someone else. Spider-Man, I remember, and I've told you guys this in the podcast, that I remember when Spider-Man was killed off in the Ultimate Comics and Miles took over. And and it wasn't like he took the mantle. Peter dies and Miles is in the crowd and he sees it. Never interacts with Miles. That, if I remember correctly.
Not Spider-Verse.
Not Spider-Verse, no. Miles didn't get a chance to meet him. And they did meet in a little crossover one of the Ultimate. Anyway, I loved Sam. I think Sam's killing it. There were some things about fights that kind of bug me because apparently his suit is made out of, and these are just little gripes, but it's a comic book movie. Don't care. We can go through so many comic movies and we can gripe about those too. But him getting his ribs bent out when he's supposed to have a vibranium suit kind of was like, okay. And
felt weird.
And
the suit getting cut.
Yeah.
At the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was just the fabric. It wasn't the.
Yeah.
But the flagpole, that one to me, in my head, I just go, wouldn't Sam's arms explode? Unless the whole thing's made out of vibranium, maybe it would work. He had a thruster.
Well, I mean, vibranium absorbs vibrations.
Okay.
And I think that's...
But the final fight with the Hulk, I don't care what you say. Mm-hmm. Some people might complain that he wouldn't last. Did he ever really get close to the Hulk that fight? No. He kept his distance. He shot vibranium sticks at him. That's why, Red Hulk was freaking out. Those go into people. It's vibranium. Oh, sorry. I just remembered that adamantium is introduced. Mm-hmm. And I have stuff to say about that. I was kind of ranting with Ethan at the end of the movie because we'll get to there. We'll get there. But I thought the fight wasn't bad. And I think the buildup with the cherry blossom trees, talking about his wife, it just fit.
Uh-huh.
And
Betty showing up at the end. I'm so glad we actually got to see Liv Tyler. I'm glad that they got Liv Tyler
wait.
and they didn't recast.
Isn't she
she's
Aragorn's?
Arwen. Yeah, she's Arwen.
Okay, so you definitely know who that is.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
of course.
I'm pretty sure Tim was like, my wife's right here, but...
Well, no. But yeah, Liv Tyler played Betty Ross in
the original,
in the Incredible Hulk.
With Edward Norton.
Uh-huh. And they recast Edward Norton because he didn't think Hulk was going to be as big as it was, or something like that. I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember, but if Edward would have been the Hulk, I think dynamics would have changed. They could not have done the scene with him in the helicarrier with everybody would have been a very different vibe with Edward Norton. Mm-hmm. But we'll never know, and it's fine. And rest in peace, Mr. Hurt. I really will miss you as Thunderbolt Ross. I thought you were great. He's not related to William Hurt, right?
I have no idea.
Okay. But I think it really did make me sad, though, that I was thinking about it and that the original Betty is the only one of the main characters of that movie who are around. Abomination's still around.
Edward Norton was recast as the Hulk due to creative differences with Marvel Studios, which wanted a more action-oriented film, and so they recast Mark Ruffalo. That's why Edward Norton wasn't kept.
It's fine. I was a little torn about it, but Mark Ruffalo has, I don't know, I actually don't know. The last time we ever saw like a good quality Hulk to me was Age of Ultron, which, ooh, I just wish there was a moment where Sam would have reached out because he has connections and there has to be some things. And I would have loved if, he talked to Red Wing and said, Red Wing, get me Friday. And Friday's like, hello, Mr. Wilson. It's so good to hear from you. And he goes, Friday, you might need to call in Veronica. And that would have been awesome. I would have loved that. And that would have been the little bleep that gets a message to, Bruce. Because I need someday in this universe, now it's completely awkward because we're going to have Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner and Harrison Ford as Colonel Ross. And it's not going to be the original actors. And we're going to have to accept that they're going to be staring at each other and supposed to be representing that. But I want them to look each other in the eyes and go, "Woo!" And I want Bruce to be kind of angry about it. I did like that Red Hulk. It wasn't his choice because in the comics, he became the Red Hulk by choice, or he was tricked. I guess it's either way. But versions I've seen, watched, and read, General Ross. I said Colonel Ross earlier. General Ross does it, becomes a Red Hulk, and it makes Hulk furious. It makes Bruce furious because it's like, you hunted me down for just, ooh.
Yeah.
I really liked Harrison Ford. To me, he was.
He is a fantastic actor.
He did. I was like, I can't believe Harrison Ford's doing this. Blah blah blah. Like he's getting, and he is old, 82. And he killed it. Mm-hmm. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Like, this is the first time I walked out of a theater for Marvel, and I was, like, smiling. So.
Yeah. I think this might be a little cheesy.
Oh, he's got cheese.
But I'm gonna try to quote the movie as best I can, to, I guess, show how I feel.
Okay.
What Bucky says.
Oh.
With Steve, we got the original Captain America. We got, basic patriotism and the righteous man of God, and he was someone that gave us hope.
Yeah.
With Sam Wilson, he's just a guy. He's just a normal dude who has taken up the mantle of Captain America, just like Terry took up the mantle of the Batman. Mm-hmm. And he gives us something to aspire to. Again, kind of the paraphrasing of the movie. With Steve Rogers being Captain America, we always were happy and excited, and it was just kind of a feeling of, okay, he's just the definition of lawful good guy. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Sam Wilson, still the lawful good, but he's also just a man. He's human. He can make mistakes. He can get hurt. And he's got to be a little bit quicker on his feet. He's got to think a little bit more thoroughly as he was talking to his wingman, um, what's his name, to Joaquin, um, that if he's not on his A game, he's dead. He's done.
Yeah.
If he messes up even once, it's game over. Whereas for Steve, he could mess up every now and again, and Super Serum would keep him alive, and he'd be able to keep going. Um, and yeah, I think Sam Wilson is a more relatable Captain America than Steve Rogers was. Not saying that one is better than the other. Personally, I prefer Steve Rogers just because I grew up with him. But Sam Wilson is starting to grow on me as Captain America.
I'm very glad to hear that because he's been captain for a bit, and I was really happy, and I think you're right, because what most people saw with Steve, because here's the sad thing about Steve is no one really got to see the human side. They don't ever got to see Steve Rogers. They got
I think
something.
I think Natasha was the only one who ever really saw the human side of Steve.
Yeah,
And that's
not
partly
Steve's fault either.
No, I personally I think that goes a little bit deeper than just the in-universe thing, right? Because Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson have been best friends since they were young,
Yeah.
right? And so I think their acting in the movies kind of is built upon that, and so we get to see a deeper level of friendship between those two characters because of the actors. But again, you're right. We don't really see the human side of Cap quite as often as we are with Sam.
Like we as the audience, of course, did. But if we think about the world, if we think about their world, people only know him as Captain America. And people are slowly starting to call Sam Captain America, but most people knew him as Falcon. They knew him as, helping Captain America. Many people knew him as helping vets when they were struggling, which I loved how the leader came up to him in the middle of that base and was like, "Mr. Wilson, do you have time to help a man down on his luck?" I just was like, that for some reason, that itched like a niche of a villain for me.
Yeah.
I think the leader, it's an old Marvel movie. We don't get to see the villains that long. We get one movie with them. And I wish we could have gotten more with this, but guys, Hulk movies would be so expensive. There's a reason why that fight was 10 minutes. There was a reason why it's hard to do. There are a lot to do. And I wasn't really mad about how the Hulk looked. I thought he looked great.
I thought it was fantastic.
There was, of course, some moments where I was like, that's a green screen. That doesn't look good. Whatever. But Red Hulk?
Yeah. I'm really happy that Red Hulk, we didn't see Red Hulk until the end.
I wish they did not show anyone Red Hulk was coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest gripe.
Agreed. I will say I'm glad that we didn't see Stearns in.
Me too. I'm glad that they kept us that
trailers.
a secret. Because Ethan next to me was kind of like, oh, and he was getting surprised and he was getting excited, and that was awesome.
Which is good. That's something that I think the movie industry needs to do more anyway. Because if you look at, and we talked about this last night after the movie, we didn't know what Predator looked like until the movie was out.
My parents said that was one of the coolest things for them. All the posters were the Predator's heat vision. All the trailers were the clicking, and
we never saw what he looked like.
And we kind of got that with like Thanos. I feel like we didn't see his.
I mean, we saw him in.
We didn't see his power though, Tim. When he beat the crap out of Hulk.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That was amazing.
We saw his face, and that's it. I think when it comes to trailers, It's kind of something that I think Nintendo did really well with the last couple Zelda games. This the trailers show off the first 5% of the game and leave it up to us to actually go and play and explore.
Can I?
When Breath of the Wild came out, and then I'll let you do
No,
your
no,
thing.
no, no, no.
When Breath of the Wild came out, we saw this massive expanse of land, of world that we could explore on foot. We could climb walls, we could swim, um, we could explore everything. We could pick up weapons off the ground and throw weapons at monsters and stuff, pick up their own weapons. We could collect food and all of that. We could interact with the world, but it was all on the Great Plateau, which is the tutorial for the whole game.
That's it, the tutorial?
The only thing we ever really saw in that trailer was the tutorial, and I think we've got to go back to that with movies as well. We need to watch the first 30 minutes of a movie in the trailer. That's it.
Ultron.
We shouldn't spoil any more than the first 30 minutes.
I think the Ultron scene, like it showed that scene
Mm-hmm.
and it showed little glimpses of it, but then you don't know the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
You see little things. You don't know what Ultron finally looked like. I didn't see the movie until well after it was out of theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And loved it. Point being, though, is, and I'm going to put a spoiler warning, so skip like 2 minutes for Tears of the Kingdom. I saw a lot of the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea Zelda turned into a dragon. No idea. Saw a cutscene, cried my eyes out,
Yep.
bawled.
I do have one gripe about that, and it's that learning about Zelda's transformation is not linear, so you can get that spoiled right off the bat.
Oh,
It's my only gripe
about the game.
about the game. Well, not my only gripe. It's my biggest gripe about the game. Some of the things in that game should have been a little more linear, but
But we're not here to talk
we're not,
about
we're
that
not
movie.
here to talk about that.
We will
All-
talk
all
about
in
that.
all, yeah. There are things that I think these trailers are doing good, and I think that includes showing us the interactions between our good guys and our bad guys, and the conflict, kind of alluding to a conflict of sorts, right? The trailer for Brave New World showed us glimpses of
The
that.
first trailer of Hulk catching the shield and flinging it to the ground, it got me. I was pretty hooked.
It was cool.
But now looking back at it, could have done it better.
Agreed.
Iron Man 3. This is the last one we'll talk, and then we'll go back into this. But Iron
Trailer
Man
for
3,
Iron Man 3 was
the
good.
trailer for Iron Man 3, they tricked us. They tricked us with the Mandarin. They did it in the movie too. Thought it was awesome.
My name is
Mr.
Trevor. I'm an actor.
I was so I was a little bummed at that. I really was angry, but I will never forget hearing the Mandarin going, "You'll never see me coming." I was like, "Oh," and then it shows them blowing up Tony's home. I was like, "What is happening?" And I had no idea what the rest of the movie was going to be like. No idea. Went into that movie kind of blind. And guess what? I was okay with that.
And Killian was revealed to be the bad guy, not...
And Killian to me was pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Watching Iron Man 3, I got to say, guys, it's not as bad as I thought.
No. Personally, I think the second one is the worst of the Iron Mans.
Here's the thing, though. I really like some. I thought War Machine was awesome.
I don't hate...
But no.
I don't hate him, though.
But it's not. It's you think it's the bottom of it. Anyway,
It's same with Thor. Like, going back, and I've already said this before, but like Thor: Dark World, it's not that bad.
not that bad.
It's a solid.
But
7
we
out of
were
10.
getting solid movies back then. We're not
We were.
anymore.
You're right. We were getting 10s with Iron Man, Thor, Captain America.
But nowadays that was the bar, though. Looking back at those movies now, I'm like, they're okay, and I enjoy them, but they're not. That's how it should have been. Our movies should not. We shouldn't be. We should not be going backwards, and that's why this podcast was made.
To say it's another issue with talking about going backwards. CGI. Why? Why did we go from tentacle faced
Davy Jones,
who looked amazing?
still can't
and-
believe that was Bill Nye. I never thought it was. I was like, what? Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear the cadence in his voice.
Well, of course you hear the cadence, the
But-
empty voices. Anyway.
But we go from that to 10, 15 years later, and we've got Doctor Strange with a
CGI.
copy and pasted CGI third eye
You let my eyeball.
that doesn't even move.
No,
And
it was so bad. It was
looks
so bad.
horrible.
Heimdall's son.
Heimdall's son.
Oh.
Um,
Not that he was bad. The
if you wanna
CGI of
see-
his face was bad.
If you want to see third eye done right, there are animations of the D&D goddess Ioun, the goddess of knowledge.
Uh-huh. I know, she my friend.
Her third eye in some of those animations looks awesome. I saw one where she looked like
He's
a
a
normal.
nerd.
I'm a nerd. I own it. I own it. But I saw this animation where she looks normal, but then her third eye opens and it looks into a galaxy. Like that third eye is a galaxy. It was so good.
Oh.
So good.
Oh.
Destiny does it really well with the Hive. They're kind of like the equivalent of the Flood almost. That'd be the Vex. But they have anyway, they've got three eyes, and that's done really well. They look they look horrific.
But how come Disney,
awesome.
who has all this, it's because they're rushing everything, and we just need.
They're cutting budgets too, and so they're not taking as much time and effort and money to make our movies worth watching.
I want
That's
quantity.
why we lost so much money.
I would rather have quality over quantity.
Agreed. If we got one Marvel movie a year, 'cause we
I'd be
got
okay with that.
We got that before. If we got one Marvel movie a year, no TV shows, nothing, just one Marvel movie a year, I'd be happy.
Or just go back to just the well, yeah, because we went with one, and then slowly we built to two,
Yeah.
and we should have just stuck there.
Yeah. But now they're trying to do 3 movies and a TV show, and then they're also rebooting and all this garbage and
And selling away your firstborn so that you can watch the show and understand everything. And
they've cut budgets. They've cut the budget back to be less than what they were before, and it's it's a mess.
Ooh, have you seen the? I know we're going on many tangents. If you're new to the podcast, this is what we do.
This is how it goes.
This is how it goes. We can hold good stories, but today is more of a discussion episode. So, because this wasn't a movie that was terrible, so we just talk about it.
No, we enjoyed it.
Concept art for the upcoming Marvel movies looking pretty cool. Granted, though, a lot of the concept art, some of it doesn't get used because remember there was the giant Ultron that's made out of thousands of Ultron robots.
Right.
So it happens, whatever. So take them all with a grain of salt, but oh my. The Russo brothers, if this, to me, this movie, if this movie is a 7 and the next movie is a 7.5 and we just keep building until Doomsday, I'll be okay. I will be okay. I just need Marvel to do that. I'm really everyone. I don't care if you're a Marvel or DC. Let's just all cross our fingers.
And hope that all of it is good.
And Superman is good. I am hoping. And I am so excited for Fantastic Four. I got my theories. I think Doctor Strange is, I think that world is a fake world and something's wrong with it. We'll see. Or it's another dimension. I have a theory that some of our favorite Marvel movies have been on different worlds. We're going to see. So, but Tim, if there were a few things you would add, take away, or change, like if there was a scene that you would have been like, I want this, what would it be? What would it have been?
The only one I could think of is Betty Ross coming to see her dad, but we got that at the very end. Throughout the movie, I was like, we have to see Betty Ross. We heard her in the White House talking on the phone, and
So good.
we have to we had to see that, and then we did, and I was happy. I remember I looked over at you and you were like,
I might have been choked up a little bit.
yeah.
I was like turned. I was rolled over away from you guys so no one could see me.
I do wish a little more character development for Sam Wilson had happened, just a little bit.
What do you mean?
Um
Because I'm
he
I'm
was
pretty
really
satisfied.
he was really the same character from the beginning and the end, which is okay. Like, he's a good character. I would have liked to see something, but we didn't have to. We got a little bit of our pep talk from Bucky, which was good.
That joke though of him going not needing the super serum is bull crap and he knows it. That was funny.
Yeah, I agree. It was fun.
Honestly, I liked him being the same. And the thing is, sorry. I feel like I could go talk to Sam about my problems if I had any.
Well, he was
And that's
basically a therapist.
I know, and the thing is, and that's the Sam I wanted. I felt like I'm glad. I think Anthony Mackie's doing great. I'm sorry, I've loved him since Winter Soldier.
Anthony Mackie is a fantastic actor.
To me, he
so
is.
is Sebastian Stan.
Yeah,
those two are killing it right now.
I don't want Bucky to be Captain America. Not this universe's.
No,
he's tired. He's old.
He wants to be a congressman. For crying out loud.
Oh, okay. Okay, how did you feel about the little itty bitty widow woman?
I thought she was cool.
We're tiny.
thought,
Me and Tim are pretty short, so we see a short person killing it. I don't care.
I thought she was going to be the bad guy too.
No.
And then I saw that at the very beginning, 10 minutes in, I was like, she's going to be the bad guy. And then 30 minutes in, she was investigating against Ross's wishes-ish and started working with Cap.
She was being a widow.
I was like, okay, no, she's just cool and intimidating because she's ex-widow. She came from the Red Room.
So my thing is, I don't know if they've ever explicitly said it, but my headcanon is that the widows have a hybrid of the serum. They're mini super soldiers.
I disagree. I think it's all just training. KGB.
No,
training.
I think you're right, but I'll have to try to find it somewhere, but someone has said that somewhere that it's like they did test on them to change because they did alter their bodies. So people speculate that they have all been altered. Not a lot, but they're enhanced. They're not captain level.
It's possible. I don't know.
But I thought she was great. Some people had beef with her.
I thought 10 minutes and I was like, I hate this character. And then 10 minutes later, I was like,
I like this character.
Cool. She's cool. I like this.
I liked her. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good. To me, this was like it felt like Winter Soldier to a degree. It had suspense.
Somewhat, yeah.
It had a lot of stuff that I needed and wanted from this movie. I was so shocked of how much brainwashing he had been doing, and it got dark in places. It got really intense. I felt like the choreography was hit or miss, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, if they do that one kick one more time, I'm gonna lose it. But it's whatever, and I
loved the dogfight.
The dogfight.
Yeah, planes.
Oh, I am so dumb. I'm like, what dogs? There's no dogs in this movie. No,
yes,
that was awesome.
White Fang is fighting the wolves again. No,
White Fang. White Fang fights normal dogs.
Right. White Fang fights the bulldog.
And the bulldog tears his... Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a good book.
It is a great book.
Anyway,
I'm tired.
I one scene I do wish we'd had, and I don't know how we would have been able to fit it in. I kind of wish we'd seen Red Hulk fight Captain America on Adamantine Island. I thought
How do you feel about that?
I,
Okay, okay. So no, you
I
don't
don't
like it.
know. I don't know how to feel about it. I know adamantium is a thing. I know it's what Wolverine's bones are made of, are coated in, and I know it's poisoning him
Hmm.
and claws and blah blah
So
blah. That's most of what his healing factor goes into, is keeping him alive from that. Um, I know it's the strongest metal on Earth. It's just below Uru
other planets.
on the other planets. Um, I don't know how it's. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Adamantium is gonna make vibranium redundant, I think, and
No,
I'd rather not see that.
it doesn't make it redundant. It's like
I guess like adamantine and mithril,
yeah, it's not. It's
they're different.
they're both respect. They're both. They now have something though that can fight it, and that's what's scary. Because now the Wakandans are gonna go crap, and that's and not saying like that's. I don't mean like they are gonna like be fearful, but now they're going ooh other countries because there could be other countries out there that do not like them. There could be places that feel resentment toward them because they've been kind of sheltered forever and now they're like hi everybody and I've always thought that was very cool of Wakanda to oh we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I am nervous, but if there was a scene I would have wanted, it would have been an end credit scene and it would have been just I don't know how they would have explained it, but all I would have wanted, and I mentioned this in our Marvel kind of discussion, but I would have wanted to seen a is it back to tank? I would want to see that back to tank like thing, and we see the silhouette of somebody hanging in it, and they start shaking, and all of a sudden these bone claws come through the thing. And so with that though,
I do agree. We only got one end credit scene, and it was very brief. It was Stern's again. Spoiler warning. It was Stern's basically warning Cap about
Secret Wars are coming.
Wars and Doomsday and the multiverse and all of that stuff.
it's
Which
it was
it was big. It was a big
it
big
felt
thing.
like an old Marvel movie.
It did. I think we should have gotten a second one, and it would have been
Wolverine.
X-Men.
Okay,
Wolverine.
I'm gonna say a very controversial thing. I think the X-Men are stupid. The older I get, the more I think the X-Men are
I
dumb.
agree, 100%.
And hold on. Here's why. I think that's just silly because I don't know how I'm gonna say this without sounding like a jerk. If you do not establish the X-Men right away, sorry, I should preface that I think they're dumb in the MCU. If you do not preface that mutants exist, they become redundant and weird and lame. But if we have an accident such as the blip is causing mutations now, I can see that going in different directions because now that we've had two big waves of because I believe the snap did emit some form of energy. If we have that making metahumans and changing them, I can live with it. I can deal with it. But all in all, I feel like the X-Men should always just be in their own universe and they should not be involved with the other.
See, I'm of the same opinion. I think the Maximoffs, right, Wanda and Pietro, we got to see them becoming mutants, and that was because of the Mind Stone. That was because of an Infinity Stone, and that was established. And I think, I think I have to agree. We saw with Doctor Strange that we've got the X-Men on other worlds, right? Charles Xavier exists. He's the head of the Illuminati on that world, and
Yeah, not anymore.
was. And I think keeping it that way. I would love to see with multiversal travel. I would love to see the X-Men versus the Avengers. I think
And
that would be awesome.
we did see that at the end of Marvels. Spoiler for Marvels, the end credit scene.
You're right.
Captain Rambo is, wow, I'm actually remembering her name. High five me. She is on the dimension with the X-Men, and Beast was there with freaking Kelsey Grammer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I thought that was great, and I'm excited to see what they do with that. I never watched any of the X-Men movies.
What?
I never watched any of them.
We are having a movie night.
I did I did watch some of the old TV shows
Okay.
briefly, just little bits. An episode here, another episode there. Um, it's been popping up on my YouTube a crap ton lately because of Deadpool and Wolverine. Um, so I know who they are. I know what's going on, what went on. I am interested. I'm probably gonna watch them.
I need to watch the X-Men animated show because I loved that
The new
that
one
show when I
with-
was a kid.
Oh,
The cartoon.
yeah. Is Matt Mercer Cyclops in that show?
Is he?
I think.
No.
I gotta check. I think he is.
If he switched, he did a great job. Then I did not realize it was him.
I gotta.
But to be clear, I meant that I don't think the X-Men should exist in this MCU's continuity. So yes, that Wolverine would be weird, and yes, I would be kind of put my foot in my mouth. But if they could do if mutants don't exist and they just have these characters like Quicksilver and Wanda, I wouldn't mind that. Do it in a smart way. I'm okay with that. But if you want the X-Men and mutants, it needs to be in other worlds. And we're going to get that. I think the Secret Wars is going to be awesome.
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
It's not Matt Mercer. It's Ray Chase.
That name sounds so familiar.
I'm looking it up right now. He is in a bunch of anime. Like, only anime. Oh my gosh.
To me, my X-Men.
Oh, he's in
Oh.
Destiny.
Oh gosh.
He's in Helldivers. He's in Final Fantasy. He's in Spider-Man 2. He's one of the street criminals.
He's just one of those voice actors who does a lot of miscellaneous stuff. So I'm pretty sure he probably has worked with Matt Mercer.
Probably.
If he's done animes, he's probably worked with him. But Tim, all in all,
Anyway.
I think we both were pretty surprised by that movie. I regret not going to see it opening night. I hope it does make more money.
I'm kind of glad we didn't go see it opening night because we let our hopes get low and then we were pleasantly surprised.
I don't know, man. I think
I'd rather be pleasantly surprised thinking it's going to be horrible and then it's good than me thinking it's going to be okay and then it's not.
but it was okay.
It was.
I
It
think
was
we
good.
would have. I think we would have left the theater on opening night. Like I said, I think I would have left the theater on opening night going, not perfect, but gosh, I had fun. I had fun. I enjoyed my popcorn. I had my sody. I had all that, and I had a lot of fun. I
Did you get
felt.
food poisoning.
I hope it wasn't for the popcorn. But I've told you this before. I usually rank my movies based on how I felt. I laughed. There were a few laughs that got me. I was on the verge of tears at some point. I was shocked. I was angry, and I felt all the emotions. And it was nice and controlled. And I don't think I was ever bored. I'm really trying to think of maybe a dull moment, and I think. No, it caught me real fast. I would be like, oh, is it one? And then it would just pull me back. I think there weren't that many cheesy jokes. There were a few with
couple,
Falcon, but he did them. I felt like they were appropriate.
I think I enjoyed Joaquin. This is horrible to say. I'm glad he got blown up.
Okay.
for the sole purpose of his jokes had run their course, and now they weren't forced.
Mm-hmm.
Right now he's in the hospital, and we could see
Yeah, his scenes with
genuine
Isaiah.
worry.
His scenes with Isaiah were a little rough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the very first scene with him and Isaiah, I was like, okay, that might have been the one scene where I was like, okay, dude,
Yeah.
Joaquin, quiet, shut your face. But the rest of it, he
Yeah.
felt natural. He felt like
Yeah,
he
he
was doing everything. He was being serious, and I love the fight in the bunker.
It was like a lighthearted seriousness.
Yeah.
That was great. The bunker fight was awesome.
Isaiah training Sam was probably one of my favorite parts of him just picking up the punching bag and swinging it at Sam. And it showed, but
really
it was smart because it helped us show like Sam was training to fight something bigger. He doesn't have a super soul. Like Isaiah was teaching him in the beginning, you cannot fight things head on. And I'm sorry, but him stabbing Red Hulk through and then blowing up the entire street, absolute cinema to me. I loved it. And my nose itches so bad. You guys might not have liked it. Totally agree. We will respect your opinions for it, but I will say that this to me fits with the rest of the Captain America movies. I want to see more of Sam. I hope to see more of Harrison Ford. If we can get a few more movies with him being General Ross, I'll take it. Because
Ex-President Ross now.
Ex-President Ross. I think
I'll be very happy with that. It's not Steve Rogers Captain America, but it is Captain America, and it felt good. It was a good movie. All in all, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. Solid 7 out of 10. Could have been a little bit better. It was not bad.
I bet you money though. I'm gonna rewatch it, and it's gonna go up because I think it's that rewatchable. We'll see.
Rewatchable.
We will tell you someday for that. But before I send us off, Tim, do you got anything else to say?
I mean, just the usual, love each other, be kind, and remember that you don't have to give everyone hope. You just have to make sure that you're someone to aspire to.
I got nothing. That was really good. I don't know why. He got me with that one. Give our heroes chances, and sometimes they won't disappoint you. And until next time, we'll see you later, pitches. Bye.
Goodbye.